Previously announced that our second part would be on the laws governing taxation. Now we go to this part, and as flashed in on the screen, the following laws are the ones that govern taxation in the Philippines. And you have to remember that as one of the powers of government is the power to tax, so you have to study the full text of the provisions of the 1987 Constitution authorizing the government um, to impose taxes. And you also have to know the NIRC, or the National Internal Revenue Code. And the following, like the four laws as listed, are statutory laws, and only the first one is on based on the Constitution. So we go with the provisions of the 1987 Constitution. And you have to take note of Article 6, Section 28, and it has four paragraphs, and one by one we will tackle each. Then it says, paragraph 1 says that the rule on taxation must be uniform and equitable, and also we are adopting the progressive system of taxation. And you have to take note also as the power of the president to fix tariff rates and all these fees as listed as found in the slide. Now, we go also to the other two paragraphs of the provision. It says about the exemption from taxation of select institutions. And if you have your 1987 Constitution with you as you are listening to this lesson, you have to check on these institutions. That would include charitable institutions and educational institutions. But there are certain limitations because, as we note, exemption or tax exemption is the exception, and the general rule is really the power to tax or to impose taxes. And tax exemption law, as related to paragraph 3, would require the concurrence of all members, or no, I mean the majority of all members of Congress. So you have to take note of this because, again, tax exemption is exception to the general rule. Now, we go to the National Internal Revenue Code, and as aside as what I've mentioned a while ago, that national taxes are administered by the Bureau of Internal Revenue. Actually, the NIRC covers the organization and function of the BIR, and also the types and rates of all taxes, including as to when it is payable and how much would be the rate, or up to what percentage of the income, as an example. Then also the remedies in case you are assessed, and collection concerns that would include, and also the offenses and penalties in case of violation of the NRIC. But take note that the NIRC has been updated such that there is what we call as the train law, and this law is a very new law, and it was made effective in January 1, 2018, during the administration of President Rodrigo Duterte. And the aim of this law was to make the tax system of the Philippines simpler and fairer and more efficient. And also, basically, it was a way of raising the government revenues to fund the projects of the administration. And it covers the taxes. You have to read that: income taxes and estate taxes. And actually, there are new rates imposed, and I will allot one lesson on train law alone. Now we go to the other laws, the Tariffs and Customs Code. Basically, it covers import and export of cargoes, or like in international trade. And one of the functions of the Bureau of Customs really is to safeguard the Philippines from smuggling, and in a way to raise the revenue of the government. And one example would be like most imported products would be vehicles and petroleum products, which are not naturally manufactured or produced in the Philippines, and there are taxes or impositions imposed on these products. And last would be a very important one, the Local Government Code of 1991. And basically, these are the taxes covered by the LGC. And you have to remember again that these taxes, as listed in our slides, would be administered by the local government unit. And we have to remember that the local government units involved in the administration of local taxation would be your province, your city, your municipality, and your barangay. And actually, your community tax is collected and by the barangay. So this is the, even if the barangay is the smallest unit of government in the Philippines, still it has the power to collect tax, and that would be your community tax. And I hope in this lesson you learned the general principles of taxation, and soon I will look forward to the more specific ones, and at least by context you already have a broader understanding of taxation. And this is very important, not just for your personal consumption as law students, but soon when you will become taxpayers yourselves, like income earners, and also if you have your businesses. And I hope to see you in the next lesson, and you take care, and thank you.